This episode of New Jersey Living is going to feature Westfield, New Jersey. If you've seen any of my episodes, specifically on Ridgewood, Montclair, Metuchen, Westfield is going to have a similar dynamic to having a very walkable town center and an area where there is tons of retail, shopping, and dining, all condensed in the downtown area directly across the street from a train station. So this is something that makes Westfield unique, very high demand. We're going to get into some of the other factors as well as we jump into this episode. So behind me, I did want to make a quick plug for Bovella's. This is the go-to bakery spot that I go to for anything that's a custom cake. Great for dropping in just to get any kind of cookies, anything that you can think of. But they have these particular peanut butter chocolate chip that are dipped in chocolate that are just remarkable. But they do have a restaurant as well, but this is more the true bakery scene right here. We're going to get into a tour that includes 4 properties. So stick with me. Jersey Hunters, welcome back. Those that are new to the channel, welcome aboard. Let's go to the first destination. Welcome to New Jersey Living. If you are interested in learning all there is to know about life in New Jersey, the real estate market, places to dine, iconic locations in towns, the general feel of neighborhoods, unique features of neighborhoods, this is the channel for you. So today's episode, as I mentioned a little earlier, we're in Westfield. We're going to do a feature today, and I welcome all of those Jersey Hunters that are consistently viewing these episodes. Welcome back. Newer viewers, welcome aboard. Be sure to click like, subscribe, and the notification bell. Stay updated on all our upcoming episodes. We're putting out 2 a week right now on a consistent basis. So do stay updated on what we are previewing, exploring, and discovering and presenting on a week-to-week basis. So if you are someone who is looking to buy, sell right here in the area in New Jersey, meaning northern New Jersey, the suburbs of New York City, even stretching down towards central New Jersey, please do reach out. You can click a Calendly link right here in my information to just schedule a quick 15-minute call. My contact information is there as well in case you want to just reach out directly by email, text, or phone call. So today, as I mentioned before, we are in Westfield, New Jersey. I'm going to pan around a little bit so you can see where behind me there is a train station, as I mentioned a little earlier, right here in the downtown dining scene. Probably going to see, if you haven't already seen the little pan around view of the downtown area, but this provides anyone who is looking for a absolutely convenient commute into New York City, town that has a walkable center, excellent schools. This nails the big 3. So those who are new, what is the big 3? We'll flash that up now. Big 3 are 3 factors that make real estate in high demand here in New Jersey. One is proximity to New York City. Driving, you can be in a car, get to New York City in roughly about a 45-50 minute drive from Westfield. Train is roughly about the same, about a 45-50 minute train ride from here into Penn Station, Manhattan. That's one. Train station is another factor. I kind of mentioned that already, but train, local train in town, another check mark. That's item number 2. Item number 3 are schools. Westfield schools are excellent, right? I carry a very, very high rating. Always check. I'll reference that not by my own opinion, but by niche.com. Take a look. You'll see an A rating, most certainly for Westfield. So this creates high demand, and that often translates to somewhat of a premium to move in. So buying property and having right there in town this kind of scene, as I pan around just a little, so you can kind of get a feel for the dining, the retail, the shopping, the convenience. This right here, it's pretty unique for this particular area in New Jersey. We're going to visit another 2 towns actually, that have comparable locations that are not too far by, still in Union County, Summit and Cranford. So those are some episodes that are coming up pretty soon. So 4 properties we are going to feature today, and we're going to take a trip to the first one to take a look at what the range of homes look like and what the price points look like here in Westfield. So let's get started to the first property. I'll see you there. Here we are at our first property viewing at 742 Rahway Ave. Rahway Ave, as you can probably get a sense of the traffic back and forth behind me, is not a lot of vehicle traffic, but it's pretty consistent. It's a 25-mile-hour road, but it is pretty frequented through this particular section of the neighborhood. So 742 Rahway Ave is really conveniently located if you have school-age children. We have Edison Intermediate directly beside this property, which is the middle school essentially, and the high school is just beyond the stadium here. All right, so Keller Stadium is where the high school team, and as well as the PAL, the Little League, Rec League teams play football, soccer, lacrosse, that kind of thing. So 742, 4-bedroom, 2-bath, listed at $650, sold at $675. Can't see from the outside. It really doesn't tell the story on the inside. We're talking recent renovations and upgrades. So this is something that was very much turnkey. Step into the property and right away you're pretty much at home. You're not having to create a home. You have a home that you just kind of walk into and settle into. What I mentioned a little earlier by premium, this is what I mean by premium, where you have certainly a renovated property with a very comfortable backyard, but still here somewhat on a main road and directly beside a school, which you can imagine on school days there's going to be a lot of traffic in the early morning and mid-afternoon. But that's still going to land just under 700 here in Westfield. So this is stop number one, giving you a sample of something that would be in that more affordable price range here in Westfield, which would be kind of six to 800. And we're gonna take a look at what that next step looks like at the next stop. I'll see you there. Here we are at our second stop at 205 Benson Place behind me. Benson Place listed at $975, sold at $985. 14 days on the market, so it went pretty quickly. 205 Benson has 4 bedrooms, 3 full baths, 2 half baths. So these are properties, as I pan around a little, you're gonna see that these are larger and for the most part older colonials. The closer we are, and right now we are probably in a neighborhood of about 3/4, maybe 3/4 of a mile. I'm gonna step aside just so you can get a better look up the front walkway. 3/4 of a mile from the train station. So not a very convenient walk, but the train station itself, that general area, a lot of it is retail, and a lot of the homes on both sides of the tracks, a lot of those are doctors and dentist offices. So it's still a lot of commercial housing, if you will, on both sides. The further you get out is the more residential you get. So there are some homes that are really convenient walking distance, but not a lot. However, the Westfield station, that train station, has an immense parking lot, relatively speaking. So by New Jersey transit standards, the lot is considerable. So a lot of people do drive in and park. So this property very much upgraded. Again, you can always pull up some interior photos if you wanted to see some of the inside of the property. And I didn't mention at the beginning, but we always do properties sales that are within the past 30 days to make sure it's really recent, really current. So these properties that we've just seen have gone just slightly above ask. So we're not seeing those frenzied environments that we experienced just maybe 8 months ago. That is very much calmed down at this point, but even higher price points like this one that was just under $1 million, still getting slightly above. It appears, as we look up the driveway, it has kind of one of those older cobblestone style driveways that they are still doing some additional work with renovation. The entire property was not renovated, but they did have some upgrades. So it seems like the new owners are doing some of their own touches. Very, very much a common pattern here in Westfield as well, when you find some of the older colonials that new residents come in or contractors and totally renovate or upgrade in some way, shape, or form. The last stop is going to be by Shakamaxon Country Club, which is the golf course here in town. So let's go to stop number 3. I'll see you there. All right, we are at our second stop up on the north side of the train line. Third stop altogether, 835 Highland. Now, 835 Highland is 6-bedroom, 5 full baths, 1/2, 7,000 square feet. Original list price was $2.899 million. It was dropped down to $2.699 million, sold at $2.5. This was or is an exceptional property in terms of size, amenity. This is very much on the end of what you'll see here in Westfield. Still some touches that are likely to be done in terms of landscaping and driveway, but this home is what you consider to be that next level type of residence, right? So panning around, you can see the neighboring homes. I'm gonna walk just a little so you can get a feel for what's around in the neighborhood. If I can like dodge these mosquitoes out here. This is one of my rare kind of early evening episodes. So there is new construction happening right next door. So you can see right behind me, they have framing up. They have windows that are in. It seems like they are still working on the next level. I see what this is. So this is actually a home that was existing. So it's an existing footprint. However, they are elevating the home and they're creating another level on top of. Okay, so this likely was a ranch style, if not a Cape style home that is being expanded vertically, that they'll have another level and convert into a colonial. They'll very much fit into the neighborhood because everything else neighboring to this is a colonial style home. So yes, this gives an idea of what those higher level millions give you in Westfield. Our next stop is just under $2 million. That's by the golf course, but much newer construction. So one more stop to go. I'll see you there. We're at our final stop at Kirkwood Circle. We are directly across the street. As you can see behind me is the entrance to the Shakamaxon Country Club. This is where the golf course is, and if you are a golfer, you could not be more conveniently located because 2 Kirkwood is right here at the corner. So we're talking new construction, not brand new. It was built in 2020, but just resold, of course, within the past 30 days. 6 bedrooms, 6 full baths, 1/2. We are looking at list price of $1.790 and sold at $1.805. And I'll have the numbers flashed up just to make sure I'm right because I'm going off of memory, of course, right now. But we're in a section where I'm gonna pan around. There's another newer construction across the street. But as we go further down the circle, there are some properties that are a bit older. I would pretty much guesstimate square footage on this is somewhere in the neighborhood of probably, including finished basement, you're probably talking at least 4,500 plus. But southern side of town, this end, properties tend to be a bit more spaced out than what you find closer towards the center downtown section, although they have some larger homes there, some larger Victorians with considerable lot sizes. But here, southern end of town, there is more open spaces. But by and large, even when you're just outside of town, downtown, in some of these neighborhoods in Westfield, very comfortable lot sizes and larger homes there as well. For that reason, this is such a premium market where you find a lot of homes that will be these larger colonials or older Victorians or somewhere, you know, in the middle. I'm even looking at this towards the end of the block, which you probably can't see too well from here, but you know, colonials that are not your older traditional, but more contemporary, as in say 70s or 80s kind of construction. You'll find a good number of that as well. So Westfield offers a full variety, a buy-in level in terms of first-time home buyer, maybe a cape or a ranch style dwelling, still should anticipate somewhere in the 600s, right? So occasionally maybe something at 5, but this is again one of those premium type of destinations that requires a premium dollar. So I hope that today was very informative. Again, I want to thank everyone for joining. Stay tuned for some of the upcoming episodes. Going to include some rentals and some more eating, dining kind of social scenes in various locations. Please, again, do click like, subscribe, and a notification bell, and click the Calendly link to schedule a quick phone call if you'd like to just get some insights, or if you're looking to buy or sell. I'd love to be able to share some of my insights with you. So thank you again for joining. See you in the next episode.